Yo, welcome to Vay's Island. I'm Vay, and today we eating healthier than we did yesterday. You feel me? At 100 hours, I'm moving slow. You feel me? Let's get back to whatever the hell we were doing, which I'm sure involves chopping up monsters. Don't thank me, thank Justice Fruit Pies. Oh yeah. Still haven't beat glowing Valtrex. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to hunt a bunch of Nargacuga so I can start making some weakness exploit talismans. This is gonna be fun. I'll open it up today. The last few times we ran, I did solos. I'm feeling a little lazy today. Let me do my thing. Item check. Let's get to it. I still need to do demon drugs and armor skim. I haven't sat down and really fleshed out a few things. Let's get the party started. That was a Hail Mary. Missed him with the shockwave. Got him. I missed him. Wow. Mm-hmm. Lather, rinse, repeat, bitch. Oh, you gonna let me 3P, bro? Here come this motherfucker. Come on. Your big goofy ass. Put the fuck down. Woo, you want some too, baby? Oh, he riding up. All right. I got to sharpen, bro. This is just getting out of control. All right, I'm backing out. I'm backing out. Look, bro, I understand your anger, but it wasn't me. It was a fair fight, and then they showed up doing all that extra shit. And you know I ain't had nothing to do with that. I don't even know why Toby even has a fatigue phase. He doesn't stay fatigued for long at all. Watch this. Oh, and now he gonna prove me wrong. I'll take it, dope. That's the first time I've seen him stay put for a while. Maybe it was due to the frost status. It's Blake. I gotta take him out. He was gonna tank the quest. He's not geared enough to be here. And these guys aren't nowhere near half as bad as Narakuga. Sorry, bro. I'm not here to carry. I'm here to help. God damn it. They're gonna force me to do this solo, aren't they? Pardon me as I eat some of my delicious dinner. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try to be friendly one more time. Look, I'm not saying I'm perfect here. I've showed up and done some stinkeroo type of stuff for sure. But you know what? If I show up and I card twice and we haven't even killed one of the 3 monsters yet and I get kicked, I get it. I'm a little bit of a liability here. There's a few things not lining up for me to survive this ordeal. Let's see if we get the same guys. Yep. Let me flip up out of there. Here we go. At least I got the buff off. Not cool, bro. Health horn. Gravy. I'll take it. Here we go. What just happened? There goes our free damage. That really didn't burn through my sharpness as much as I thought it would. I appreciate it. All right, cool. Is it 3 of us over there and 1 of them? 1 over here? Oh, that's effed up. He survived. All right, we good. Oh, there's only 3 of us. Okay. Crap. That would have been super sweet if he would have just ran right into the slap. We gotta quit meeting like this, Kodachi. There's a lot of old gushies around here. Oh, he's in capturable state. Own it. Moragere! What you doing? Moragere! All right, we good. Oh, little stompity stomp stomp, huh? What a douchebag of a name. This guy better be fucking phenomenal. Yo, eat a dick. He coming through with the buff of dooskies. I ain't mad thus far. Judo chop. Oh, you bitch. Couldn't take a joke. That was a mistake. Do a little stroke on the way down. Make it look fancy. Ow. I just remembered I can SADA from a successful block. Better be careful on when I use that, but you best believe I'm gonna use that. All right, we're getting an actual ride this time. I like that. I like that. Here come Big Mama Pride. Absolutely. All right, let's put this bitch in the bag and get the other one. And the words of my mama, let's put this bitch in the bag. All right. Oh, no. Oh, wrong mind, but time to do some damage. And I'm out of traps. I'm gonna have to farcast her back. Unless somebody else decides to be an actual hunter. Anybody? Anybody being traps? You bum bitches? Nobody? Super surprise. Super surprise. It was a few enterprises my mama was involved in. Mainly things that go in bags. Fuck up. Put this bitch in a bag. Oh, what a hell of a shoulder check. I couldn't ask for a better Monday night lineup. ABC, always be cutting, bro. Give me that tail, motherfucker. I liked you better when you had a white glow in the night. See if I can actually get off a carve. I doubt it. Here it comes. Smack. He ain't down with me yet. All right. I'm good now. Yeah. Get him, kitty cat. Hit him with that tail. What else you gonna do? It's almost time to re-engage. Sorry, people who hit Nevada. I gotta take that music out. I'm trying to listen to my slaps. They slapping hard too, ain't they? Listen to this. Slaps. Who's trapped in here with who though? All these crazy tail swipes at this close range. Come on, Nargacuga. You know you owe me a tail, bro. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. I'll take it this time. Did we get that tail? Nah. He almost let me get it off. Here we go. You could have let me get that buff off. Come on, big time. That's how you giving it up? Fine. I'm taking the blood then. Well, no tail cut, but he's down. All right, let's get it on. All right, got to get back into practice here. Oh, really? Man, he's got some mad accuracy with that, huh? Oh, I got the right. Oh yeah, I got it. Nice. Gotta find my rhythm. Oh, for real? All right, come on. Trying to get a KO on him. It's a do. Oh no, come on. Oh, no fair, you piece of shit. You show up right when it's fun time. All right, well, let's dance then, big guy. Nice glide. So only the face for this guy. Got it. Who the fuck did he think I am? Come on. All right. Let me shut up before you one-shot me. I'm out of here. Let's see if they took all the forecasters. They didn't. Nice. I can come back again. I got forecasters on my own, but I'm lazy. Is that the second death this round? No, but that is. What am I dealing with here? Wow. Really? EPS is mad low here. What does he got? The Nargacuga longsword for the white sharpness. I thought I dropped the trap. Kill him, trap him, it makes no difference, I guess, at this point. You know what? And nobody else is gonna trap him. Yo, that Tobi Kadachi was around for way too long. Here we go. See how this group does when it's enraged. We're not the hottest. We're not the hottest quartet here. At least I got a flinchy. Back out. He show up with the Hellcat. Somebody's getting trapped with him. I remember right, Nagakuga is strong against almost all types of ranged, at least spike. Maybe not piercing, I don't know. I know spread don't do too hot on him. Am I correct? I know I'm correct. Narg should be coming over here soon. You. All right. You spend more time losing quests than completing them on multiplayer sometimes. Very often do you find yourself at the losing end of a gun. You know what that means. Gotta run it solo. All right. Open and growl. I should have so gekied that. Whoa. Overshot that one. Whoa. Whoa, didn't even see that shot, bro. Good shot. Yo. Cool, bro. Woo! World missile. All right, I need to sharpen. Dogu. Come on, man. Woo! Be hard to do without the dog. Sometimes you gotta shit and run at the same time. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Ooh, that was an act of aggression, dude. He shot that guy point blank range in the face. If I was you, Toby, I wouldn't take that. Not point blank range like that. Oh crap, you know what, I forgot to fix that. Oh man. All right, I'll get on that. Thank you. All right, hey, since you're here, well, I'm not sure if you're here actually, because you just talked to the escort. Oh, okay. Since you're here, quick combo. How do you, as a female, deal with the entitlement of men to your body, to your thoughts, and to how you are supposed to act in society? How do men speak with you, talk with you? How does that make you feel? And how do you deal with it? Oh, same question to you. You don't think men in general in society have deemed women to be the barefoot and pregnant type? Like no scenario intended, just like legitimately how men perceived and act towards women. I know you've had to have felt the entitlement that men have. Like how okay, how did you feel when they said that women aren't federally protected with abortion rights? How did that make you feel as a woman? Because that was predominantly, obviously, a male thing that really affected women. So men predominantly in your life, Violet, when they act entitled and start becoming aggressive, when you were younger, you were taught to capitulate to what men wanted, correct? And you were taught that by another man. You there, Baki? What you got for me? Dude, that's dark, Violet. So nowadays, now that you know better and that you're from under the Bible, from under the BS teachings, when you come across these men that feel like they're perfect strangers and they can tell you what to do, you should smile, honey, and yada yada yada. How do you deal with that, Monsoon? I agree with that. And I agree that when you can legislate on what people do with their bodies in any way, shape, or form, then that is not true freedom. I will wholeheartedly back that sentiment, Baki. You know what, man? I'm just sick of bullshit dudes doing bullshit stuff and and women talking about it and no other guy really just pulling up on them and saying what's up. And I'm not saying there aren't men out there like I'm just like alone and I'm the best guy. No. I'm not white knighting by any stretch of the imagination. I'm an asshole. I do asshole shit just like other guys, just like other people. But you know, recently I've just been hearing a lot of things in my life about just dudes and they're just, oh my God, aggressiveness towards women and what they, you know, like concepts like male reproductive rights. Like we do have male reproductive rights. We have the ability to get a vasectomy. We're the people that own our penis. I don't stick my penis in a vagina without a condom on if I don't want to. I don't know how it works for every other guy, but I imagine that I'm not an anomaly. I'm not a god. You know what I'm saying? So male reproductive rights is such a weird bullshit topic to talk about, like ways to subjugate women. Like men make things that affect women about themselves when it has nothing to do with them. And I'm guilty of it sometimes, but I'm seeing it too much and it's insane. It's insane. And I think these bullshit dudes need to get off their fucking high horse and get the fuck out of here. Learn how to be lovable and likable. People don't need you anymore. Deal with that. You're not needed. Learn to be wanted. Stop being entitled to other people. Stop legislating other people. It's okay to be a dude. It's okay to be a woman. It's okay to be who you are. No one should be made to feel bad for being a woman or a man. Right? Yeah, because we've been taught these ways of kind of getting what we want. Just and you know, like men, they do little fucked up shit. They call it game, or they, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put you on game, and game is usually how to trick a woman into getting something out of her. You know what I'm saying? Like that little shit that's passed down from man to man, like how to mistreat women professionally, and it's disguised as something like all men should know. Like no. How you get people in your life is genuineness, not playing tricks and running. Wow, he sprung that trap and did not get trapped. That is phenomenal. Farcaster I go. And yeah, I can imagine, Violet, that it takes effort, because there's also the physicality that men have that people are. I don't. Part of the issue. Part of the issue of the man and women aspect is there is a physical threat involved in all these situations when you're close in proximity to a man, whether a man intends to or not. You can be imposing, and I'm not saying there's much we can do about that, but I am saying you have to be aware of it. So when you start making like crazy statements about what people should do, how people should be acting, you're making controlling statements, and you're looming over everyone because you're just naturally imposing. That's not your fault, perhaps, but your behavior with your stature is not becoming of what maybe even you are trying to put out. It's intimidating, and dudes just need to be aware of like just shit like that. More than that, but just shit like that. Yes. There is definitely a culture of it, man. More so than just running game, there's also a culture that definitely is going around that men try to pretend like it's not, of other men teaching men that women are nothing but objects. That is definitely taught in households with women in them. The men are taught that women are nothing but objects. Oh man, the time for this hunt is going to be atrocious, but yeah, no cards. All right, I'm back in it. Yeah, it's entitlement, man. It's entitlement, dude. And that's exactly what it is. And it's gonna take, because women have been calling it out for quite some time now, and what it takes is for other men to get involved and call it out. And I do think, let me come to my man side here and say, I do think that things are getting better, at least at recognition of the problem. But it will take some time for this generational, because it is a generational cycle in some households, for that to be broken, and it will take some time for men to be re-educated. But what we need right now, until that can happen, is more men talking about the problem, talking about the men that are a part of the problem, and really just not necessarily white knighting for women, but just going like, yo, dude, you know, like that imposing stature shit does not work when we are the same size. Now we can just have a conversation, and you can't just fucking bully your way around, because most of those people that are big like that and do start bullshit are cowards and don't want no smoke with nobody their size, which is why they're telling women to smile in the first place. They piece of shit dudes. You would never say that to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm a big guy, but you know what I'm saying. I know we're talking about something serious, but this is my jam. Yes. And I wish a lot of these chicks would finally realize that, like, yo, stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, y'all are not sitting at this table with these men, man. They don't want you there. You're in a gilded cage thinking that you're doing something. But that's a whole other conversation about white women caping for white men through racism, thinking that they're better than other races, but truly they're still not above the table. You're saying you're better than black folks, you're better than Hispanics, but you can't sit down at the table with these other white men whom you allied yourself with through the culture of racism that is pervasive in a lot of these households. But that's a different conversation. But it's one of the same, though. It really truly is. It's one of the same. Internalized misogyny presents itself in a lot of forms. It's terrible, man, because when you start talking about this stuff as a guy, other guys will definitely, you know, the first thing that they say is, oh, you're trying to do whatever to get coochie. And that's just a way of dismissing anybody who's trying to take accountability for the situation. Because is that some guy's tactics? Of course that's some guy's plan. But a brother like me ain't hurting. You feel me? And that's not a flex. That's just honest. I'm doing it because I think it's right. And I'm just, you know, women that are close to me are dealing with shithead men that feel like that they should tell them that they have no rights to their body. They wake up and they're just like, hey, what's up? And then the next text is like, yo, I should own you. And it's like, what are we talking about? Of course, hyperbole, exaggeration, but you know what I'm talking about, motherfucker. You know how that should go. All right, let me concentrate on killing this cat. He out here having a good ass time. Yeah, that's true, but it takes a lot of cooperation and collaboration. It may have just been one person's view at one point, but throughout the generations, there's been a lot of collaborative effort, not only to keep it going, but to add to it. So it starts with one person, but it ends with a whole family of people just that should be thrown in a river. Which is just silly. Can I just talk about how marriage being an extra level of commitment is a silly thing? Oh, you're married now. Ooh, fuck out of here. We for tax benefits and breaks and a few other things, but fuck off with that. Not at all. People like to pretend it's this weird, like, oh, your husband and wife, it's different now. Yeah, maybe for the fucking people that were, I don't know, brainwashed into believing that all of a sudden marriage is magical and it changes everything. But that's not reality, not mine anyway. Maybe it is for some people, you know. We don't all live in the same reality. I'm not exactly a fan of this song. Nice. Yeah, it's definitely a government sound. It's definitely a government contract type of thing. And while I am not against the concept of marriage as much as I used to be, I do fully grasp the concept that it does not change a relationship, in my opinion. And I don't think I would ever get married to someone who thinks that getting married does change the relationship. Because, you know, I would get married to that person and then they would change. That's what would happen because they think it's a new level. Change for the good or the better, I don't know, but I'm not looking to change my partner via one action. You know what? I'm sick of you. Let's get married, because that's literally how people do it. Let's get married so we can fix all these problems. I'm sick of you. Ooh, all my meldings are complete. Maximum might. All right, yo, I'm gonna take a quick break. Be right back. All right, I'm back. We're gonna jump into some YouTube, man. I'm gonna watch a couple videos, check out some stuff that I've been it's been popping up on my feed. I like random educational crap stuff that like let's say we all know what a lumberjack is, but how does he do what he do? I'm interested to find out. I'm that guy. All right, let's check out the design of Apple Park. I've never seen it.
Was the last public appearance of Steve Jobs 4 months before his
It
death.
shows the last public appearance of Steve Jobs 4 months before his death. He speaks to the Cupertino City Council to reveal one final project.
Apple's growing like a weed, and as you know, we've always been in Cupertino. Started in a little office park and eventually got the buildings we are in now at the corner of Deanza and 280.
The previous so-called Apple campus was no longer big enough for the growing company. The buildings, constructed in 1993, are arranged along a circular private road, Infinite Loop, named after a programming term for code that will run endlessly by itself. In order to cope with the growing number of employees, the company started acquiring more and more buildings in the area. Eventually, Apple was operating out of a chaotic mix of buildings that were originally developed entirely separately from one another, and are
so they had like a scattered campus
for a coherent office headquarters.
So we're renting buildings, not very good buildings either, at an ever greater radius from our campus. And it's clear that we need to build a new campus.
The plan was not to abandon the existing campus at Infinite Loop, but to expand it with a larger,
there we go. Sorry about the noise.
Apple was able to acquire a large piece of land that is not only located nearby, but also sits directly on Interstate 280, which runs through the entire Silicon Valley, offering good accessibility for employees. A large part of this area was for sale because the computer company Hewlett-Packard closed their offices here, and Steve Jobs personally came
big of
full
a swath
circle
of
by
land that
acquiring
is.
this site, as it was somewhat personal to him.
When I was 13, I think, I called up Hewlett-Packard were my idols. And I called up Bill Hewlett because he lived in Palo Alto, and he picked up the phone, and I talked to him, and I asked him if he'd give me some spare parts for something I was building called a frequency counter. And he did, but in addition to that, he gave me something way more important. He gave me a job that summer.
So you can just call the CEO, he picks up and just hooks you up?
Hewlett-Packard, right here on in Santa Clara off 280, the division that built frequency counters. And I was in heaven. Well, right around that exact moment in time, Hewlett and Packard themselves were walking on some property over here in Cupertino, in Prune Ridge, and they ended up buying it. And they built their computer systems division there.
I don't care.
And as Hewlett-Packard has been shrinking lately,
I need to see the
park. They decided to sell that property, and we bought it.
Bro?
The circular building is divided into 9 sections, each connected by a light-filled atrium. And although the building as a whole offers an enormous amount of space, due to the ring shape, it is not overwhelmingly large at any individual point. Within the individual segments, walkways lead around the building along the outer and inner rims. These walkways are separated from the outside only by a continuous wall made of glass that stretches from the floor to the ceiling, allowing a panoramic view of the surroundings. Apple claims that these are the largest curved glass panels used in any building to date. And sticking out from the facade are white canopies, positioned to cast shade at the interior hallways. In addition, These elements are also part of the building's active ventilation system, bringing fresh air in from the outside. The office space is also kept very
Oh, I'm
open,
sure the
with
employees
glass
love
walls
that.
laying out an open
This whole
pot
"we are the
design.
world"
In
stuff.
this concept, the employees are given
Like, people just don't
access
wanna
to
be
a
alone
large
sometimes.
open floor plan where they can self-locate to available desks. This layout should increase
Wow.
collaboration and is inspired by co-working spaces and college campuses.
Not as interesting as I would hope.
And the
I do want to know what's new in Vegas, though. Think this is going to be a robot?
Hey you guys, it's Ruby, back again with another Las Vegas update, but not just any update.
You
This
almost
is
got me, bro.
what's new in Las Vegas.
Tokyo Drift girl. No, not a girl. Girls can't drift. Oh my God.
There's this coaster in Hershey Park.
I don't even want to know, man. You know what? Nope. Floating hotel. Let's check it out.
In October 2019, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ordered the demolition of the world's first floating hotel docked in North Korea. The hotel is currently owned by a South Korean company that bought it from a Japanese one. It was a major hit in Vietnam, but it was originally made for Australia, designed in Sweden, and built
That
in
looks
Singapore.
insane.
Traveling over 14,000 kilometers around the world, the hotel has experienced cyclones, fire, World War II ammunition, and a murder. This may all sound confusing to you, so let's start at the beginning. In the 1980s,
The
Doug
town of
Tarka, the town
Townsville.
developer of Townsville, and his son Peter Tarka wanted something unusual and innovative to attract tourists to their city. Townsville is
And home
a
to
city
the
in
Powerpuff
Australia
Girls, you
located
son of
near
a
the
bitch,
famous
don't you
Great
skip it.
Barrier Reef. Hailed as a natural wonder, the Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system. The unmatched beauty of the life under the seawater brings millions of tourists from around the
Them
world
fish
to
look
this
delicious.
area. The original plan of Doug Tarka was to permanently moor 3 cruise ships along the city
These giant
coast
boats look
to
crazy.
create a safe anchorage on the reef, but this plan was later rejected as being too impractical. They then came up with another brilliant idea. They would build the world's first floating hotel. Now, I know what you're thinking,
Right.
we already have floating hotels. They're called ships, and they've been around for centuries. But Doug Tarka didn't want a ship, he wanted a floating hotel. He believed that you could tell the difference
I guess
when you
it's
see
not
one.
wrong. Look at that shit.
The floating
That's a
hotel would
floating
be
hotel,
7
bro.
stories high, 90 meters long, and its width would be shorter than that of a typical cruise ship. Unlike a ship, it would not propel on its own. Rather, it would sit still on the seawater and could occasionally be
The
moved
fuck is the
from one
point of
place
this
to another
thing?
using a carrier ship. A Swedish company designed the hotel, and the construction began in Singapore at a company that built offshore living quarters at oil rigs. The hotel building costs came with a hefty price tag, estimated to be up to $20 million US dollars,
This is the dumbest
and
thing I've
adjusted
ever
for
seen.
inflation, around $42 million in 2020. Upon completion, the
That thing looks
innovative
like a
hotel was
bad
towed
game
all
of
the way
Connect
from
4 on
Singapore
C.
to Australia for its grand unveiling. A massive, heavy lift ship carried the
What are y'all
hotel more
doing?
than 4,000 kilometers to its
Nobody
destination
ever
off
stopped
the
to just
Australian
be like,
coast.
"Hey, yo, what
After
are y'all
arriving,
doing?"
it was connected to a number of anchors
Y'all
to
do
stop
know
it
that
from
looks
floating
like
away.
a floating
The floating
prison,
hotel
right?
was named the Four Seasons Great Barrier Reef Resort after the names of 2 stakeholders, Four Seasons and the Great Barrier Reef Holdings Limited. The hotel sat over the John Brewer Reef in the open sea some 70 kilometers off the coast of Townsville. From a distance, it looked like a 7-story building was resting on endless seawater. As you come closer, you could see that the hotel was much more than just a giant building. It was a world-first
I can't
attempt
believe
to have
people
people
stayed there.
staying on the reef in a floating hotel. The hotel building was decked out with all of the typical in-hotel luxuries, including 200 lavishly furnished rooms along with a glowing neon nightclub, discos, bars, a gym, a sauna, a library, a 100-seat theater, a conference center, and a helipad. Want to play tennis on the surface of an ocean? The hotel has a floating tennis court. Fancy swimming in fresh water while surrounded by the endless seawater? The hotel even has a freshwater swimming pool. The hotel was the perfect place for diving, fishing, and other underwater exploration. Guests could also submerge themselves in underwater adventures with the use of the hotel's submarine.
The hotel had a submarine?
Other fish spotting opportunities came in many forms. Guests could jump straight from a platform into the sea for a casual mid-ocean swim,
boats allow
while
for a few
glass-bottom
things,
boats allowed for
about.
low-stress views of the ocean's residents. The hotel also had an underwater viewing area where visitors could feast their eyes on fish without ever leaving the hotel. The hotel was surrounded by colorful coral,
This
which
isn't
the area
doing
is
anything
famous
that like a
for.
yacht couldn't.
Other creatures
you know what I'm
and
saying?
critters in the
Or,
area included
cruise.
giant clams,
You know what I'm
reef
saying?
sharks,
Like, what is
blue starfish, and a whole range of
what is
fish.
the point of
For
having
those
the
interested
prison
in tasting the delectable delights
super
of the seven
difficult to
seas,
move?
there were 2 restaurants in the hotel with plenty of fish on the menu. Diners had the opportunity of tasting some of the freshest fish around. From the look of it, the hotel was one of the best things that happened to coral reef tourism in the area, but only on paper. In reality, the hotel was a disaster, to say the least.
No, it didn't.
The Great Barrier Reef Resort
It didn't
looked
look good on paper. What
but
are we
it had
talking
gotten
about?
into hot water right from the very beginning. First, a contract dispute with the Singapore
Because he had deep
shipbuilder
regrets in
delayed
his
the
soul
delivery of
for
the
ever
hotel for
agreeing to
over
build
6
this
months,
monstrosity.
And when it did finally arrive
Can't you
in
understand
Australia,
that?
Cyclone Charlie
He had to
struck,
fight himself
and
every day to get
62
up
mile-an-hour winds buffeted
and
the
just
7-story
stay alive
luxury
because he
hotel.
decided
The
he
damage
was gonna
minor,
build
but the hotel couldn't be
this
opened
monster.
until March of 1988. The delay cost the owners millions of dollars in lost revenue and canceled tickets, as the hotel missed the lucrative North Hemisphere winter tourist market. With reduced prices and the hype around the novel concept of a floating paradise, the hotel opened with a good 85% occupancy.
85%. Ooh.
Even then, all these unusual attractions came at a hefty fee. One night in the hotel could cost anywhere
Jesus
from
Christ.
$550 to $1,100 per room. A major reason for the high prices was the unusually high operating cost of the hotel. A typical cruise ship travels from one place to another, exploiting local laws and loopholes to keep the operating cost low. This
Again,
wasn't possible in the case
what
of
is the
floating
advantage
hotel.
of building this
Situated
slab of
in the Great
shit
Barrier Reef
as
Marine
opposed to
Park,
just doing a cruise?
this
Like what?
hotel had to measure up to
Why?
the strict
The guy was like,
environmental
"Yeah, you'll know the
standards
difference
to
when you
protect
see
the
it. When
sea
you
life
do."
surrounding the complex.
But
There was no toxic paint
all
on
right,
the hull,
now
and
I
no
see
waste
the
was
difference.
discharged into the surrounding water.
why?
Instead, all sewage and
Oh, man,
liquid waste
I
were treated
gotta go
before
potty. I
then
can't.
being dumped many miles outside the reef. Trash
Yeah, I gotta
was
hold tight.
all incinerated before being transported back to the mainland.
I'm back.
Below the main deck of the hotel, a watertight compartment housed sewage treatment machinery, incinerators, diesel generators, a huge air conditioning system, a desalination plant that could produce up to
Ooh, excuse me.
152 tons of fresh water a day, and a repair shop. The repair shop was capable of repairing anything from generators to handbags. The hotel even had a lab where marine researchers studied seabird droppings to make sure the hotel wasn't feeding scraps to local birds. Because of these measures, the hotel was thought to be completely unharmful to the environment surrounding it. The hotel was anchored some 70 kilometers away from the coast of Townsville, and the only way to access the hotel was via water taxis, which would ferry guests from the shore all the way to the hotel's entrance.
Wow.
A journey which took 90 minutes and cost $120. Alternatively, richer guests could take the quicker and more luxurious 20-minute helicopter jaunt that cost $325. Rough weather often
Dude, so it's
disrupted these
$550
journeys. If choppy water, high winds, or
minimally
bad
for
weather
the
struck,
room.
it often
Then you
would
got to pay
become
another
difficult for boats and
$125 just to
helicopters
get to the
undertake their
joint.
trips. Visitors would often cancel their trips because of bad weather, and even those who could make it complained about high turbulence and seasickness. In August of 1988, one of the taxis caught fire,
Not
and
a
passengers
injury,
were
but
seriously injured.
fire at sea.
The main selling point of the hotel, the Coral Reef site, was also a little strange. Between 90 to 95% of the coral in the John Brewer Reef had already been eaten up in the preceding 5 years. 2 invasions of the crown of thorns starfish had gobbled up the vast majority of the coral. Furthermore, guests who didn't do scuba diving or snorkeling
Probably not a lot of
often
options, huh?
complained about the lack of live entertainment in the hotel. The
You would have
widely
to do
marketed
something like a
swimming
Vegas
pool was
residency
long
at that
gone in the
joint, and that'd be a
cyclone attack.
nightmare.
The final nail in the coffin came in the form of World War II ammunition. In September 1988, some scuba diving guests found 100 tons of World War II ammunition, including anti-tank missiles,
crap.
only 3 kilometers away from the hotel. The Navy investigated and claimed that the ammunition was just far away enough not to pose a threat. Apparently, until around 1950, it was legal to dump live ammunition offshore.
I can imagine.
Such news put a permanent dent on the reputation of the resort.
It's a big bomb
Who would wanna
underneath.
spend their vacation
So much
floating
for your
over a
submarine,
huge
bro.
arsenal of World War II ammunition. To hold visitors, the hotel reduced prices
Oh my God.
further to only $130 per night for a double room. The enterprise also suffered from a bitter feud between the owners and the operators, poor management, hapless marketing, and eventually bookings began to dry up. During
Oh.
the final few months, the hotel
That's a
registered only
slap.
20 to 25% occupancy. Due to this loss of money, the hotel needed to sail to
More affordable waters.
The hotel owners sold the hotel to a Japanese
Forgot
company
this
in
thing goes on
1989,
tour.
only a year after the hotel had opened its doors in Australia. These new owners transported the hotel to Ho Chi Minh City in the south of Vietnam. At that time, Vietnam was experiencing a post-war tourism boom. Ho Chi Minh City was flooded with foreign visitors, but the city didn't have many high-class accommodations for rich people. As an already packaged, ready-to-go facility, the floating hotel seemed perfect, so the new owners were willing to take the gamble. The journey from its Australian port to Ho Chi Minh City was
How much
another
you think that
epic
ran them in
adventure of
gas,
over
bro?
5,000 kilometers. Upon its arrival, the hotel was moored in the Saigon River, renovated to give it a local look, and renamed the Saigon Floating Hotel. The place was ready for its second life. In Vietnam, the Saigon Floating Hotel became an instant hit. The country's first foreign-invested hotel offered a range of luxurious facilities.
I wonder if they
services, and
learned their
400
lesson and
highly
got
trained
more
staff.
live
In
entertainment.
1995, the hotel charged up to $335 per room per night, in a country where the average person earned less than $350 per year. In its stay of more than 9 years, the Saigon Floating Hotel became a widely celebrated icon of the rise of tourism in Vietnam.
Ugh.
Locals affectionately knew the hotel as the Floater. Its appeal began to wither in 1997, however, when Vietnam's existing hotels
Oh, so
were
once
renovated,
competition sprung
and many
up.
other foreign companies joined the lucrative market. Once more, the hotel owners decided to uproot. They sold the hotel to South Korean Asan, the tourism arm
All right.
of Hyundai, who again decided to move elsewhere in an attempt to pick up profits. This time, the hotel set sail for the unusual location of North Korea. Renamed to Hotel Haegumgang, the world's first floating hotel was anchored at the Mount Kumgang tourist region near the heavily guarded DMZ border, which opened in 1998 as a north-south experiment in tourism.
Really? I've never heard about this.
North Korea and South Korea were improving. It was hoped that the hotel might attract tourists from South Korea and help to ease these relations even further. Between 1998 and 2008, the floating hotel was the official venue for the emotional reunion of families divided by the 1950 to 1953
I'm not even necessarily
war,
hip to
where
what
South Korean
happened
families
to
could meet their
divide
relatives in the north,
Korea.
many of which had not seen their loved ones for over 6 decades. But in 2008, yet another bad hand was dealt for the aging vessel when a North Korean soldier shot and killed a South Korean tourist at the resort.
Well,
Seoul quickly ceased all tours.
that's
in the
unfortunate.
region. Since then, the once celebrated floating hotel has been eerily silent and rusting at the edge of North Korea without maintenance. However, it remains open to local tourists, and I found a few Google reviews of the hotel that were made recently. In 2019, Kim Jong-un visited the site and criticized the facilities. He claimed that the facilities were, quote, not only very backward in terms of architecture,
Yeah, but whose fault is
so
that?
shabby as
They're
they
in
are
your
not properly
country.
cared for. The buildings are just a hodgepodge with no national character at all. He then demanded the demolition of unpleasant facilities and the building of new modern ones. That has yet to happen. The hotel remains in North Korea in Kumgang Port. Using Google Maps, you can still see it. So that was the
I can't believe
story
that
of
thing
the
is still
world's
around.
first floating hotel.
Horrendous.
And I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed to this channel,
Do I even want to know? Illegal places to visit on the earth. All right, you got me. I'm interested. What do we got?
All right, everybody. So, hey, you come to CES
Mhm.
2023. We've shown you so many things, so many different products, but you know
Let's
what?
check out the
Everyone
cool
just wants
stuff
to
then,
see
bro.
The cool stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go inside the central hall.
Not to you, but to everybody.
The coolest stuff to me. Let's go. We're going cool hunting here at CES 2023. So
TCL's getting better.
TCL's booth because I've seen them over the
Their
years.
TVs don't sound like shit
Evolve,
anymore.
and when
That's
we talk
always
about
nice.
Augmented reality and AR glasses. I have not seen a model with this form factor that gets us closer to that holy grail of actual
Ooh,
glass
let's hope
frames.
that it's
So I'm gonna talk
more
about it.
affordable.
I'd love for you to tell us, what you're doing
Because
here,
smart
what
glasses
the Radio
are
X2s can do.
expensive.
Yes,
Yeah.
So Radio X2 is the world's first AR glasses to have realized full color binocular displays on the micro LED and optical waveguide glasses. So what does it mean, right? It sounds pretty complex.
Sure.
Micro LED and optical waveguide
Something you
is
just
a
made up,
unique
huh, bro?
technology that we use to ensure that the lenses are transparent. You can see through, but at the same time, there's text displaying that you can see, and also it's as
They don't
thin
look
as
like normal
possible to
eyeglasses. Those things
just
look
similar
big
like
as
normal
fuck.
eyeglasses. Many other companies, they try to use this technology to realize AR technology, but only Radio X2 has realized binocular full color display. Apart from the
Why they
display
trying to have that guy out there eating food like it's regular? Bro, those things
so we can
are
do auto translation
mad
of multiple
thick.
languages. So just imagine if you wear it and you travel to a new country, just say China.
Yeah.
You don't understand Chinese. So when people speak to you in Chinese, you will automatically pick up their voice and translate it in real time.
Nah,
So
I
the
mean,
Chinese
yeah, that's dope.
subtitles in English will display on the glasses. So it just
Yeah, but that
feels
don't
like
help you
have a,
communicate, but that
time
helps
for
you
your
understand
average
them.
interpreter.
Yeah, right in your glasses. And we've seen kind of pre-made 3D rendered ideas of what you're talking about translation, but this is a physical product that at the moment is actually able to do it, correct?
Yes, you can try it on, and you can experience it on your own. And apart from
I
that,
mean,
it also has its
yo,
own mapping system,
I'm upset at how
so it
thick
can do
they are,
navigation on
but
its
I would
own.
like to
So
see
when
if they
you're, like,
actually
cycling
function.
or walking in the
I've been looking for
city and you
looking
don't know
forward
where
to
go,
having. Oh
it
my
will
God! Look at
identify
him
nearby
reading that
landmarks
menu.
near
You
and
come
it
on, man. These
shows the
things are
names of the
ridiculous.
landmarks for, say,
We can't. I
LVCC.
can't.
So if you're
I
near to
can't.
Las Vegas and show you, oh, you're near the LVCC, so that's super convenient. You can also take photos.
This is just
with it
silly.
with just
We're
one click.
goofy now.
And then the
Moving
photos can
forward.
be downloaded to your phone in high resolution.
Big
And you
goof.
can also play music at the same time.
That's a big goof.
The brightest colors, the brightest contrast ratio as well. And what we have here, this is 97 inches, but what makes this special is you don't need to connect anything physically to this TV.
Wait,
the panel
what?
is here, but what we have over here is their Zero Connect box. Now this is a box that on the side has ports that allow you to connect your set-top box, your cable box, whatever components that you want to go directly into here. All it needs is a line of sight
What?
to the TV. And why is this going to be a big deal? Well, we've always kind of talked about one of the holy grails is like, how do we create a clean image and transmit signals wirelessly? 4K.
Oh my God, this
120
thing's got to be
hertz, of course,
uber
FreeSync,
expensive, but that's
FreeSync for
wild.
gaming as well. So imagine just putting something like this, truly an easel, no wires whatsoever, OLED display, the Zero Connect box. This is one of those really cool things. If you're a TV junkie and you've always wanted something like this, you're drooling right now, and inside I'm drooling. So there you go, LG's first wireless OLED DTV. Another cool thing here at CES 2023, LG's transparent OLED TV. You can even see it just went for transparent, and then the screen is filling up. Like my fingers are going
What would you need this for?
up there. So this is their concept. It's the OLED T. Now, honestly, we've seen transparent OLED demos, and the materials existed from LG for at least 2 years or so. But what they're trying to do is show
What else they
how we can
got?
apply this in a consumer application.
It's a whole ass car, bro. It's another TV. All right.
And so
When we hear the word Dubai, most of us picture towering sky.
What is he driving?
You have the
Dude,
engine
that looks
and
insane.
the running gear from a quad bike, but you will.
All right. Hit me. Well, 30 years ago. Well, I didn't see it, so it's over. Hit me, bro.
How safe is Japan, really? Everybody always says there's no crime to be had.
Theft, violent crime, despair. Things that I've not really experienced in 10 years living in Japan. Well, maybe not despair. I mean, the price of family
I know.
chicken's gone up 18.
All right, so it's a worldwide
That
phenomenon.
is the real
That's
despair.
unfortunate.
That is the real crime. Look, you probably don't need me to tell you that, statistically speaking, Japan is one of the safest countries in the world, with amongst the lowest rates of violent crime and theft. And in fact, this year, Japan hit a post-war low for the 7th year running for reported crimes domestically. Now, I'd be incredibly naive to tell you that Japan is...
Oh, wow, there's women-only
utopia.
train carriages? I
There's
wasn't
a
hip to
reason
that.
There are women-only train carriages. And in recent years, there have been some highly publicised crimes that have shocked the nation and triggered headlines around the world. And on a slightly more bizarre note, this week 2 monkeys went on a rampage around Yamaguchi Prefecture,
They had
injuring
enough.
over 60 people in scenes that sound like something out of 28 Days Later. But ruthless monkeys aside, for the most part, everyday life in Japan is very safe. Many people leave their front doors unlocked. It's not uncommon to see people leaving their worldly possessions on the coffee shop table when they go to the restroom, which coming from the UK always seems like a colossal act of bravery. If you drive through the countryside, you'll see these unmanned stands just selling
the honor system.
Deposit the money in a coin box and take it away, and there's nobody there. There's a level of trust in every
largely absent everywhere, bro.
Largely absent back in the UK, which I think is very sad. Honestly, I think the only time I felt threatened in Japan was last week when I walked past an ice cream shop with a very direct and intimidating slogan. I love my cows. You will too. Love them. Love my cows. But this atmosphere of safety and trust can give you a full sense of security if you come here as a tourist. And today I want to tell you a story, and unfortunately it's not a nice story like The Wizard of Oz or Harry Potter and the Goblet of Secrets. This is the story of a couple that came to Japan on their honeymoon and walked away with $6,000 of credit card debt and probably not a very good image of the country either. And when Japan finally reopens to tourists sometime in the not so distant future, for the first time in 2 to 3 billion
these
years,
COVID videos
are
odd,
to go through this ever again. You know, I feel a huge sense of regret for not talking about this sooner, because I might have been able to prevent this viewer from enduring the nightmare that they went through. And I think one reason I've never discussed it is because Japan is safe. I didn't want to come across like I was scaremongering, but time and again I've heard horror stories.
All right, well, come on.
Hopefully in this video we can make sure
I'm ready for you to save my life, bro.
Abroad in a scam. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Oh, Jesus. But before you come to Japan, make sure you don't get scammed online either. Up until a few years ago, I didn't even know what a VPN was. Now when I'm online,
all right, come on, get your ad off.
Without one, like driving a car without a seatbelt, or flying an airplane without fingers.
You know what?
ExpressVPN has been my go-to VPN for the last 2 years. So when they
if I had to VPN, I would definitely most likely choose Express.
I'm reliant on public Wi-Fi when I'm traveling. It's worryingly easy
Why you
to
ask?
connect to the same network and steal
I don't want to right now.
or even credit card details. ExpressVPN helps me secure my connection, no matter the public Wi-Fi that I use. Like ExpressVPN,
I make myself laugh. Shut up, I don't need you.
Every move online. It's encrypted, what I just did. Admittedly, when I first got ExpressVPN, it wasn't for security reasons, but to access websites back home in the UK that you couldn't get in Japan.
Man, all right.
Why you can't watch Studio Ghibli movies
He going
in Japan, you can in the UK. Meaning I can now watch My Neighbor Totoro and not the
look at all this
edition either.
production he's putting in.
3 months free on ExpressVPN by clicking the link in the description box below at expressvpn.com/abroadjapan. Now, as a tourist in Japan, there's only 2 real scams you need to be aware of.
It's quite serious, yes.
It's quite serious. This one, where they lost $6,000. The other one seems almost trivial in comparison, is more of an inconvenience, I'd say. And today, I'll explain both using stories kindly sent in by
Free
users
drinks
who have
for all.
experienced them firsthand. The scam you need to worry about the most is in Tokyo, and to be more specific, in the districts of Shinjuku, Roppongi, and to a lesser extent Ueno and Shibuya as well. And the one thing all these areas have in common is historically they're very touristy places. The story we're going to read out today is actually in Kabukicho. I don't want to put people off Kabukicho though. It is a very cool place. The food's amazing, the nightlife's awesome, the atmosphere is incredible, and in fact this set is kind of modelled on Kabukicho. I love it. I should have just filmed all my videos there instead of building this.
Look at all those signboards, man.
But I was there only a week ago. It's not an inherently dangerous place, and it's changed a heck of a lot in the last decade. It's far more gentrified now, and there's a lot more hotels, and so there's a good chance you'll stay there if you do come to Tokyo. But there's one rule you need to follow if you do go there, and that is never ever ever follow one of the touts into a bar. And if you follow that rule, you can basically switch the video off now and have a nice day. Unfortunately, a lot of people do follow the street touts. They're pretty nice people, they're very engaging and good at what they do, and they're there to get you off the street and into a bar. And you might be thinking, well, oh yeah, it's obvious, don't follow them. That's a golden rule for not just Japan, but many
There's
countries.
like, yo, hey, you want to see something? You never been here? Let me show you this.
Japan, given that it is an inherently safe country. Now, the touts that target foreigners specifically are actually foreigners themselves. They're not Japanese, they're Nigerian guys that have been given visas to come over and basically kind of do this and work for these organisations in the area. They have two very good skills. Number one, they're very friendly and engaging. And number two, they're very persistent. Once you start speaking to someone, you can't get rid of them. And it gets very difficult. And if you're none the wiser to the scam, either you or your group of friends might say, yeah, who doesn't want free drinks? I'd love a free drink. Let's go. And away you go to a bar that's typically hidden several stories up in one of the buildings down that very neon lit district. Now, once you get inside one of these bars, you are, for lack of a better phrase, pretty screwed. You are going to get charged extortionate prices for drinks. 3, 4, 5 times what you're expected to pay. When the bill comes, the odds are you're going to query it. You're going to be like,
oh,
no,
wow,
I'm paying $200 for what was $20, $30 of drinks. And it's at this point you won't be allowed to leave the bar. There'll be a group of people blocking the door, basically preventing you from leaving until you either pull out the cash or a credit card. In some cases, if you don't have cash,
extortion,
they might take you to an ATM. They'll like frog march you to a
that's messed
ATM
up, man,
and watch you get the money out. It's pretty insane. Don't think just because you've got no cash on you, you've got a magical get out of jail free card. They'll still get the money out of you somehow. And those free drinks and reasonable prices you were promised at the start of the night have gone on to become the most expensive drinks you've probably ever had. But the worrying thing is that's actually a pretty good variation of the scam. That's a less severe one than the one we're going to read out now, because it can go much worse than that. As Laura,
man, I don't need to hear.
She came to Japan 2 or 3 years ago for her
super sad story of doom.
So my husband.
Let's hear about this one. The goat.
A few years ago, I did this crazy, maniacal 2,000-kilometer cycle across Japan, and on day 3,
really?
I was
You went crazy, huh?
Beautiful area, lots of rice fields, nothing going on, incredibly remote.
I might have to check that out. Dude's insane.
Cycling along, I saw a car, and it was a car that had driven past me about a mile back. So I was a little bit worried at first. I was like, oh crap, you know, have I done something? Has something gone wrong here? And there was a sort of middle-aged woman by the driver's side, standing there, ushering me over, sort of waving to grab my attention, which is quite odd. You know, people don't really do that in Japan, so I thought, oh, maybe she needs help. So I pulled over on my bike and I sort of said, hello, how you doing? And she was like, you know, where are you from? What are you doing here? Why are you in Japan? The usual sort of generic questions. And I just said, oh, I'm cycling across Japan to Kagoshima, off to Niigata City today.
What? What type of stuff?
You come with me to a party?
There's a party? You can't. No, not looking like that.
And she was like, yeah, there's a party right now. Come along to my house with my friends. Let's have a party. And I was like, oh, I think I've got to get going right now. And she was like, no, it's going to be amazing. There's biscuits. Don't you like biscuits? I was like, biscuits aside, I've got to get going. I've got to get cycling. And she was really persistent, right? This is quite a rare, abnormal interaction to have. But at one point, she pulled out her phone, and it was a photo of some very bewildered and confused foreigners just sitting on a sofa with like a cake.
Is that the like, yo, don't you want to be like them? That's the best you got? Is confused white dudes on the couch?
Bizarre interaction was to genuinely start sort of getting on my bike and walking away. At which point she was like, okay, maybe next time, here's some biscuits. And I was like, all right, biscuits, yeah, I got something out of this awkward interaction. And we did put
that was super weird.
Viewers sort of speculated as to what was going on there when the video came out. Now, I'd like to tell you that this is
wow, by herself. She's out there just trying to drag people into her car. Just like, hey, don't you want to just come sit on the couch with these other people that look nervous? Don't that sound good? Get in my car, party now.
Sapporo Park, waiting just beneath the tower for Natsuki to return from another bloody smoking break.
Go fuck yourself.
Anyway, I was sitting on this bench and a middle-aged woman came over and started speaking, kind of the old generic questions. What are you doing? Why are you here? Why Japan? It was a fairly unremarkable conversation, but all of a sudden she pulled out this pamphlet and stuck it in my hand. And I looked at it, and it was for this very unimpressive-looking Buddhist kind of sect, some sort of almost cult, like looking place. And she was like, we can make you happy. And I was like, look at my face, I'm already happy. You know, but she was very insistent that I join her right there, right then, and we go off and learn the ways of Buddha for a reasonable price. But right then, thankfully, Natsuki turned up.
What is that about?
And ran away very quickly. But I think those two experiences were connected by the fact they were both effectively trying to get me to go to some religious meeting or some sort of cult. And they do target foreign travellers quite often. Maybe it's just to make a quick buck.
Huh.
Can you believe it?
I wonder how that would play out in the end. You went with them, and how do they extract the money out of you is the question. Because you know that's the end game. Well, how do they get the money out of you? A little bit of milking that money out of you. How do they do it? That's the good question. The truth about Amazon deliveries. Shut up. Oh my God. Did you know what the toothpicks are doing when you sleep? Like, get the fuck out of here. The fear mongering.
From thousands upon thousands of kilometers.
I don't know if that's a
of
robot or not. I'm not
of the
trusting
Mojave
it.
Desert to the tallest.
You know I want to kind of check out the slums here. Hold on. What? All right. What?
The man who accidentally killed the most people in history.
All right, Charlie. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
One single scientist created 3 inventions that accidentally caused the
Okay.
deaths of millions of people, including himself.
Oh.
Not only that, they decreased the average intelligence of people all
Oh my
around
God, he
the
made
world,
Twitter.
increased crime rates, and caused 2 completely separate environmental disasters
Wow.
that we are still dealing with.
Did he make
today.
Jägermeister?
Part of this video is sponsored by Ren. More about them at the end of the show. In 1944, as a young chemist who had just finished his master's, Claire Patterson went to work on the Manhattan Project, building
sounds
the
about
first
right.
nuclear weapons. His job was to concentrate uranium-235,
Okay.
the fissile fuel for bombs, from the much more common uranium-238. And this required
Science.
machines,
Lots and lots of
mass
science.
spectrometers,
All right.
which separated the 2 types of uranium by their slight difference in mass.
Yeah, I'll be going to the OTK house tomorrow.
After the war, Patterson went back to grad school to get his PhD. He
Mhm.
picked a research project that would take advantage of his experience with mass
That sounds like a hype thing to do.
measuring the age of the Earth. Radioactive rocks are effectively clocks. Uranium-238, for example, decays into thorium, and then protactinium, and then 12 more decays, until it ends up as lead-206, which is stable. The rate of this decay is consistent and can be measured. It takes 4.5 billion years
wow.
for half of a sample of U-238 to decay into lead-206.
I don't know if I trust
Patterson's
it.
PhD project was
When
to
has
determine
science
the
ever been
age of the
right?
Earth by measuring the ratio of uranium to lead in primordial rocks. But to calibrate his instrument, first he used zircon crystals whose ages were known. Zircon is ideal for this purpose because when it forms,
Ain't that that shit that Kodak Black said he was? Didn't he say he was a Zircon?
any lead that you later find inside a zircon, you know must be the product of a uranium decay.
My ass itch. Give me a
Patterson
second.
was tasked with measuring the lead content, and another
God,
student,
this is so
George
fucking
Tilton,
big brain. I've never
measured
even heard of
uranium.
zircon.
Tilton's
Sounds like a character
uranium
in Dragon
measurements
Ball.
were fine. They matched predictions. But Patterson's lead measurements were all over the place, and they were many, many times higher than they expected.
We take George's uranium and my lead,
All right, Patrick.
Oh, a little bit of scratchy ratchies. Oh, it's scratching. Oh, it's
Where's
scratching.
all this extra lead coming from?
The aliens gave it
That
to us.
mystery would take over the rest of Claire Patterson's life and bring him to the literal ends of the earth. In 1908, a woman was driving across the
Starting
Belle Isle
Detroit, you're
Bridge
fucked,
in
bro.
Detroit when her car stalled. A passing motorist stopped to help.
I'm
Those
sure he
days,
hand
cars
cranked
needed to be
already.
hand cranked to start.
The good
He
old
knelt
days,
down
baby.
and turned the crank, and the engine roared to life, a little too suddenly. The man
Oh,
couldn't get out of
shit.
the way, and the crank handle hit
Oh
him
my
in the face
God.
and broke his jaw.
Fucking idiot.
He died as a result of his injuries. His name was Byron Carter.
What the
and
fuck?
He was the founder of his
Even
own
Charlie's
car company.
confused. Like,
He
holy
died
shit.
of a broken jaw? What was it? Byron Carter.
All right. That's hilarious,
An
though.
awful way of going out.
Fucking get your jaw broke. Can you imagine that? You get your jaw broken, you just die. I'd probably die of embarrassment. That's probably what would happen. I get my jaw broke with a hand crank.
He developed pneumonia as a result of injuries he sustained when he tried to hand crank start a car stranded on the Belle Island Bridge near Detroit. Huh.
The most hilarious way of going out I've ever heard, though.
What a terrible way of going out.
It's like your grip strength is too much,
Shit.
beating off too hard. Now you're out there cranking a car with strength unknown, end up breaking your own jaw.
But he wouldn't have gotten pneumonia.
The only thing left is to die right there. It's like,
So I
holy
don't really
shit.
see how getting hit in the jaw can result in pneumonia.
Oh, my jaw. I guess I'll just die now.
Resub Prince. True, I guess, yeah, it was just the early 1900s. Yeah.
Well connected, eh?
So he was well connected in the Detroit auto scene. He counted among his close friends the founder of Cadillac, Henry Leland. Leland was so distraught over his friend's death that he resolved to eliminate hand cranks from his vehicle.
He's like, yo, we gotta get rid of these cranks, man. They're out here taking young talent.
And by 1911, he had a working prototype.
Hand cranking was difficult and dangerous, and best left to men.
Okay.
But a car that started itself?
Well, if you say so, I guess.
Everything.
The world's first crankless car was the Cadillac Model 30. It was much more powerful than cars before it. It had a top speed of 45 miles per hour and 40 horsepower, double the Ford Model T. The Model 30 was a huge
I can imagine, no
success for
crank.
Cadillac, doubling the company's annual sales. But it had a problem. It was deafeningly loud. In internal combustion engines, a piston compresses the fuel-air mixture.
Damn, that's been the whole engine thing for a long time, right?
Gases push the piston
Engines
back
are still
in.
like that.
The problem with the Model 30 engine was it compressed the fuel-air mixture more than previous models. So much, in fact, that often the fuel would spontaneously combust before the spark from the spark plug. So rather than orderly, perfectly timed explosions, you'd get multiple haphazard combustions leading to turbulent pressure waves inside the cylinder. The resulting sound led the problem to become known as engine knocking. Knocking wasn't just hard on the ears, it hurt the engine's performance. It
Is
reduced
PDT
power
better?
output and
Yes.
lowered fuel efficiency. The vibrations also damaged the piston and walls of the cylinder, shortening the
I've
life
had
of the
engine knock.
We all agreed on that.
The good news
But it
was
was
that
fine.
One of my many of hoopties.
by changing the fuel. Different fuels
Instant death,
different
let me
levels
tell
of
you.
compression before detonating. N-heptane, for example, will spontaneously combust under only a little compression. Isooctane, on the other hand, can withstand a much higher compression ratio before it auto-ignites, so it's much less likely to cause knocking. To
Right.
quantify how much compression a fuel can withstand, scientists came up with the octane rating system. They arbitrarily set isooctane to have a rating of 100 and N-heptane a rating of 0. Now, real
Right.
fuels aren't made
And
up of all these
detergents?
two ingredients. They're a mix of lots of different hydrocarbons, but the octane rating tells you what mixture of octane and heptane gives equivalent performance. For example, 98 octane fuel can withstand the same compression as a mixture of 98% octane and 2% heptane. Now I'm going to take a little bit of 98 octane fuel and put it in this piston, and when I compress it, nothing happens, which is exactly what you'd expect. This fuel can withstand a lot of compression. Diesel has an octane rating of 20, so it acts like a mixture of 20% isooctane and 80% N-heptane. If I put a little bit of diesel in there, let's see what happens with the same compression ratio.
It blows his hand off.
There you go. You get a little explosion in there. That's because this is a low octane fuel. I mean, that's what diesel's meant to do. You compress it and it ignites. But you don't want this
Diesel does sound cool. Yeah.
That's
the reason fancy cars demand high octane fuel is to prevent knocking in their high compression, high performance engines. Kettering wanted to find an additive which would increase the octane rating of ordinary fuel and eliminate knocking in high compression engines. So
How does this lead to this guy murking everybody? This is weird. We're getting a whole vehicle lesson. I almost forgot we're dealing with someone who accidentally murdered folks.
He later wrote, most of them had no more effect than spitting in the Great Lakes. Ethanol was an interesting exception. It did stop the knocking, but you needed a lot of it, about 10% of the fuel mixture. For it to be
Not nowadays. We get corn out the wazoo.
Expensive and hard
Pizzas over there slinging ethanol like nobody's business.
After an additive that was cheap, easy to produce, and effective even at low concentrations. So he kept trying. Then he hit on tellurium. It worked wonderfully as an anti-knock agent, but it had a terrible smell. You couldn't get rid of it by changing clothes or bathing. His wife was so offended by the stench that he had to sleep in the basement for 7 months.
Jesus Christ.
Midgley wrote, I don't think that although this doubled the fuel economy, humanity
You know what that was? He was smashing some side, and every day he would come home
after 5 years
and rub that tellurium or whatever all over his body. And she'd be like, "Oh, you gotta sleep downstairs." He'd be like, "Oh yeah."
Atom right there in the center. This was exactly
easy to make them phone calls, do some sneaky peekies. I know what he doing.
It was cheap to produce and readily available.
He got a 7-month vacation from his life.
In 1,000 for it to be effective. In a call to Kettering, Midgley said, "Can you imagine how much money we're going to make with this? We're going to make $200 million, maybe even more." That is over $3 billion in today's dollars. Now, for his discovery, the American
the prestigious Nichols Award. All of my heroes have gotten or have been
he and Kettering patented the process for
nominated for receiving the Nichols Award.
Additive ethyl, perhaps so it might be confused with another common additive, ethyl alcohol. They made no mention of lead.
Gonna be wrong.
Then they teamed up
The
with
big
two of
three.
America's largest corporations, General Motors, DuPont, and Standard Oil of New Jersey, to form the Ethyl Corporation. Their marketing was brilliant.
No man can look at the amazing record of accomplishment here in this research division without confidence that these men are going ahead with an eye to the future, looking for new facts and principles which will make things better and make life easier for all of us.
Yeah, America. We like lead.
At the 1923 Indianapolis 500, the top 3 finishers all used.
All right, must have been, you know, some good stuff there.
Took off. To keep up, Ethyl Corporation had to build a new chemical plant in New Jersey, but the project began terribly. Within 2 months of operating, dozens of workers fell ill with lead poisoning. 5 of them died.
Probably faking
to
it.
address the public outcry, Midgley held a press conference, and there he poured tetraethyl lead onto his hands, and he inhaled it for a full minute. He claimed he could do this daily without
what a
harm.
giga chad. Holy
But
shit.
Midgley knew the dangers. The reason he had turned down the public talks was because he spent much of 1923
Oh my
in
God.
Florida, where he himself was recovering from lead poisoning. He didn't go anywhere near
So he knew
he could help it.
this was terrible?
Lead is dangerous even in small doses.
Holy shit.
It mimics calcium in our bodies, so there's no efficient way to get rid of it. And like calcium, lead can be stored in bones for years, meaning it can continue to poison the body long after the initial exposure. The organ most sensitive to
So
lead
how is this
is
an
the brain.
accident if he knew what
Lead
was
breaks
up?
down the myelin sheath around axons and prevents the release of neurotransmitters. That's why common symptoms of lead poisoning are headaches, memory loss, and tingling in the hands and feet. And children are particularly susceptible. Lead exposure can cause permanent learning disorders and behavioral problems. And the dangers of lead had been known for hundreds of years. Already in 1786, Benjamin Franklin remarked that lead had been used for far too long.
And lead used to be in everything. And it was just an awful
How
thing.
long a useful truth may be known and exist before it is generally received and practiced on. He would have been aghast to learn that nearly 150 years later, scientists planned to add lead to fuel. Doctors and public health officials from MIT, Harvard, Yale, and the U.S. Health Service wrote to Midgley and warned them against producing tetraethyl lead.
Yes.
They called lead a creeping and malicious poison and a serious menace to public health. Their concerns were dismissed.
This model shows how just the right amount of fluid containing tetraethyl lead and dye is added to the gasoline.
No one doubted that a lot of lead was bad for you, but how much harm could a little lead do?
Do you like Zilkami?
By the 1950s, millions
Seriously?
of motorists globally were burning lead in their cars and releasing it into the air. Some of that lead ended up on Claire Patterson's zircon samples, preventing him from determining their age. In 1952, he moved to Caltech, where he built a new lab from scratch. Suspicious of environmental contamination, he tore the electrical cables out of the walls to remove the lead solder. He cleaned the floors and benches daily with ammonia and made sure that air was always
Oh my
being
God, what is
blown
he
out of
doing
the
here?
lab. To go inside, you had to wear a plastic bunny suit. Patterson basically invented the clean room. Inside that room, he turned his attention to the oldest rocks in the solar system, meteorites. All the original rocks on Earth had long since been destroyed by tectonic activity. But meteorites come from asteroids, which formed around the same time as Earth.
That's a little bit of an educated guess, though, don't you think?
Space until they entered the Earth's atmosphere. So the best way to measure the age of the Earth was to measure the age of meteorites.
Patterson measured 5 meteorites, each with 3 different radiometric dating techniques, and he found they were all 4.55 billion years old. That number is within 0.15% of the currently accepted value for the age of the Earth. You know, before Patterson's experiment, people thought the Earth was a billion years younger. So Patterson had done it. He measured the age of the Earth. But he wasn't
I'm gonna be honest, I got lost on some of that science. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get back to that lead and people getting murdered. What's happening, bro?
Howard pushed back, saying, "We do not feel justified in giving up what has come to the industry like a gift from heaven on the possibility that a hazard may be involved in it."
Scientists funded by the Ethel
I mean, it is a natural part of the
Lead is a
environment.
natural part of our environment, and therefore not harmful to people. But Patterson wondered just how natural
Uh-oh,
is
he
the
about
lead
to show me
in
a
our
thing or
environment?
two.
And he had just the skills to find out.
Yeah,
He
15.
started eating dirt for 5 years and then measured his own blood.
He began by measuring lead in the ocean.
All right, let's see what's going on here.
Broad consensus on the part of everybody except the lead industry and its
That's
folks
pretty
that
wild.
lead is extremely toxic at extremely low doses.
A follow-up study showed that those with higher levels of
God
lead
damn.
were many times more likely to fail out of high school. As a result of studies like these, the CDC's guidelines for the acceptable level of lead in children's blood dropped from 60 micrograms per deciliter down to 3.5.
Wow.
And as far as we know today, there is no safe level of lead. Globally, lead is believed to be responsible
Wow.
for 2/3 of all unexplained intellectual disability.
Holy shit.
According to a study published in 2022, more than half of the current U.S. population, that's 170 million people, were exposed to high levels of lead in early
This is prime
childhood. Those
that-
born between 1951 and 1980 are disproportionately affected. The authors estimate that in aggregate,
Oh my God, that's a weird metric.
100 million IQ points.
Oh, that's a weird
The world
statistic.
is less intelligent today because of leaded gasoline.
That's
But
fucking
there
crazy.
are even more troubling correlations. The US saw a steady rise in crime from the 1970s to the 1990s. Then it abruptly declined. This graph looks eerily similar to a plot of preschool blood lead levels, just offset by 20 years. The obvious question is, did kids who were exposed to higher levels
That's
of lead grow up to
an
commit more
interesting
crimes
correlation.
than they otherwise would have? You might think this is just a spurious correlation, but the same pattern appears in many countries, including Britain, Canada, and Australia. And we know there's a causal connection between lead exposure and antisocial or violent behavior. A study of 340 teenagers found that those who were arrested were 4 times as likely to have elevated lead in their bones than similar demographic controls.
So I guess
I'm sure this will be answered. But
now, this doesn't mean that.
I guess, well, maybe it won't be since it's almost over. What leads to the higher levels of lead concentration in the infants?
air quality, yeah. People,
like the newborns.
you know, he's asking, but it's just flat out people burning the lead from lead gas. And if you lived in a big town, you know what I'm saying? And it was all those people around driving automobiles and factories and everything like that. The smog and the gasoline being burned would be toxic and poisonous, leading to lead poisoning in many cases, man. Lead was more of a menace than people honestly thought it was. And we kept it around in society and used it as a utility way longer than we should have. And we put it in everything, and we used everything. I mean, lead paint, like literally, like you walk into a room full of poison now. Like that's insane, dude.
Thanks to Prime Dakota.
Got paint in it. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think of lead pipes. So like in older houses and shit, it's almost never zero. Well, yeah, you really can't escape lead consumption anymore. It is literally in everything. Like again, every vegetable, every fruit, all of it has trace amounts of lead. Literally everything you consume does. I was just wondering what would cause, like, for infants,
environment,
to
bro.
have increased levels of lead, and I guess it would
Of
probably
course,
just be where
environment.
they are in the world and what they're eating.
Yeah, all types of metals are extremely prevalent inside fish.
Versus deep.
Lead, mercury. I'm not exactly sure why seafood is more ripe to retain precious metals, but they are.
Baby inside the body, like a lead fucking ball bearing or something that serves as like the core for a human being.
Just got a
There's
smart
lead
chat.
particles in the air due to farts.
The smartest chat around.
What the fuck are you talking
And
about?
I'm paused, bro.
Did you?
What are you watching?
Make me skip
Learning
ahead.
about lead and the man who accidentally killed the
I
most
gotta
people
see
in
how
history.
What? That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, apparently it's from him creating lead gas.
It's tough to estimate the precise death toll of lead. One of its lesser-known effects is a hardening.
All right, so we're deep diving on lead now.
Increased cardiovascular disease. A study from 2018.
Wait, let's back it up just a little bit.
Estimates of deaths caused by lead range from 500 to 9
deaths per year in the U.S.
Assuming a constant rate over the past century, that amounts to 25 million deaths in the U.S. alone. Globally, the figure may approach 100 million. Most of those deaths are due to Midgley's decision to put lead in gasoline, a substance he knew firsthand was toxic, but he did it anyway to maximize profits. And the problem is not over. Current estimates of deaths caused by lead range from 500 to 900,000 per year. A 2020 UNICEF report warns that 1 in 3 children globally, that's over 800 million children, have blood lead levels at or above 5 micrograms per deciliter.
A lot of this lead now comes
Makes
from
sense,
batteries and industrial processes, but some is still due to Midgley.
So he just flat out knew he was poisoning everybody.
He was put in charge of another engineering project. GM wasn't just making cars, but also household appliances. And fridges had a problem. The two most common gases used as refrigerants were methyl formate and sulfur dioxide. One is highly toxic, the other is flammable. Midgley was tasked with creating a safer alternative, and in 1928 he developed a non-toxic and non-flammable refrigerant, dichloro-difluoromethane. GM called this new product Freon, and to demonstrate Freon safety, during the unveiling at the American Chemical Society, Midgley inhaled a lungful of this gas and blew out a candle. In the following decades, CFCs like Freon became very popular and were used as
a lot of things, but a
solvents
coward
and
he is
aerosols.
not.
The problem is CFCs are light and stable. When released into the atmosphere, they climb up into the stratosphere, where they can remain for 50 to 100 years.
Did you know that?
But if a CFC molecule is hit by an ultraviolet photon of just the right energy, it breaks apart, releasing a chlorine atom. And this chlorine atom can then react with ozone, breaking it apart into chlorine monoxide and oxygen gas. The result was another environmental disaster.
Are you serious? Freon does that?
With less ozone, more UV light penetrates the atmosphere, increasing the rates of skin cancer and cataracts. Plus, CFCs are potent greenhouse gases. Per kilogram, they produce 10,000 times more warming than CO2. The historian John McNeill wrote that Midgley had more impact on the atmosphere than any other single organism in Earth's history.
So this guy was an actual
agreement to phase
supervillain
out
for us.
CFCs, the Montreal Protocol,
no one
went
ever
into
knew.
effect in 1989. And the ozone...
He might still be alive, being kept alive by lead and chlorofluorocarbons.
Jesus Christ.
Died. Oh, this is his wife. I was gonna say he died in 2018. Fucking good run. He died in 1944. Oh, and this wasn't his wife. This was his daughter. I guess.
Man, so he invented
He had a
two
real good run.
crazy things.
Damn you, Thomas.
layer is now showing signs of recovery, although it'll take many more decades to fully recover. In 1940, at the age of 51, Midgley contracted polio and became physically disabled. So to help him get up, he devised a mechanical bed controlled by a series of ropes and pulleys. On November 2nd, 1944, while using the contraption, he became tangled in the ropes and died of strangulation.
Thanks to the work of Claire Patterson, it became clear that the lead in our environment is not natural. Burning lead in combustion engines spread the toxic element across
Can't
the
get
planet,
rid of it.
into the air, oceans, the snow at the South Pole, and even our bones. Japan was the first to ban leaded fuel in cars in 1986, but other countries soon followed suit. Algeria was the last to do so in 2021. The UN calculates that the elimination of lead from gas saves over 1 million lives per year and $2.45 trillion.
But leaded gas is still used, by the way, in piston-driven airplane engines.
Yep, I knew
That's
that.
now the largest source of lead emissions into the air in the U.S. You will observe with concern how long a useful truth may be
Yo,
known and
Wild Hearts
exists
is done.
before it is generally received and practiced on.
Damn, that music, that got intense at the end there.
When I first learned about Thomas Midgley and Claire
Exit
Patterson,
Prime
I was amazed by how much harm or how much good a single person could
That's
do. to the
insane,
environment.
dude.
Which brings me to the sponsor of this video,
But
Ren.
all right, wait. But nah, check these out at a later time.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Oh, it's on the sidewalk.
This is the sidewalk.
Shut up. I didn't even realize that till I just seen.
Oh my god.
Did you even know there was
All right, I gotta watch this guy muscle guy.
Wow.
Obviously, I'm gonna skip around, but
My name's Spencer with SB Mowing, and I've got a job that is insanely tough and took me a long time to do.
this is SB Mowing. If you're not hip, I just started watching him today. Dude, because some grass, bro. And can I, you know, I'm gonna let y'all know that I'm a man that is passionate about anything somebody is passionate about. So look at him. My man's meticulous. Man, that thing's like a laser, ain't it? How much pressure is that pumping out? Oh, no wonder he volunteered to do this stuff. Look at him. He got the tools to get it done, bro. I scooped that up. So what are you gonna do with all this water? He's just spraying all over the fucking neighborhood. He ain't concerned about it. He ain't digging. I don't give a fuck about this water. Y'all had to deal with it. I gotta cut through this ground here. Shit tough. My brother do yards. I gotta see if he do shit like this. I know he don't. I know it was scandalous. I just threw him under the bus for no reason, but he deserved it. All right, dig him up, bro. I see he about halfway done. He out here scrubbing a driveway? Shut up. Yeah, that water look nasty. All right, but I still see the streak. So how do you get rid of that? Oh, so that's like an attachment to this to the super hoser. Man, he's just pulling that out the flex. He like, look at this. Hey, here we go. Oh, he doing a whole. He got to do the whole block, huh? Who plant? How did the grass? I'm sure it happened naturally, but yo, how? That's crazy. Just stick over, huh? That man work hard. This shit crazy. This man work hard. I gotta see that, the before and after.
come in. I'm real dirty.
Oh, okay. You said what now?
I just got finished up, so I'm gonna head out of here.
Oh, okay. Is there anything
People can't believe that he's just not here doing it. I mean, he getting his YouTube off, but yo,
You're welcome.
this is altruistic capitalism. This is how you do it.
Hopefully it looks a little bit better for you, and you can walk on that sidewalk.
Walking around, filming yourself, just doing services.
Have a good one, guys.
I mean,
What was that? No, not yet. I'm getting married in July.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Thank you.
And you from Wichita Falls?
Wichita, Kansas.
Oh,
Yeah.
so how do I get up there?
You can look me up online.
Mhm.
It's called SB Mowing. SB.
SB Mowing, folks.
Yeah.
Yo, wow, what a difference. That really does look a lot better. That's insane. That concrete need mad work. All right, he got me. I'm gonna go with the overgrown lawn mowing. Oh no! I'm getting sucked in a lawn mowing. It's big. Let's get some mowing going. What is going on in my life? I am such a fucking dad now. I'm so mad I like this.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Spencer with SB Mowing here. So yesterday I got a message from a lady asking me if I could help her out with her lawn. She's a single mom and she actually got her lawnmower stolen a while back, so she hasn't.
Get your cut on, man. Yeah, let's walk through the jungle though. Get your cut on, bro. I'm here to see the shit, the fucked up lawns, and you take care of it for me, man. Don't give me no backstory. I don't want to hear no sob story. I'm already here. You already got me.
So,
son of a bitch.
Yeah, so we're on a different day now. My camera actually ran out of battery, so I ended up getting the front lawn cleaned up. I was mainly here to help her get the backyard in shape, so I'm gonna go over this again. I was here 2 days ago. I'm gonna go ahead and bag everything up, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the back.
Woo! God!
And I don't know
Shit!
how long it's been, but
Last time you got that grass, boy.
stolen her mower, and she hasn't been able to mow the back for quite a while.
Tall. Bitch, you gonna need another word. Tall.
So I'm gonna walk through here, get all the trash picked up, make sure I'm not damaging anything.
Let's get it going then. Let's get it going then, buddy.
It's going.
You gonna fit through there? Woo! I know you was scared. Hey, you got somebody out there helping him this time. Oh no, that's probably somebody that lived there. So what do you do when you cut that giant grass like that? Because obviously it leaves clippings all over the place. I'm gonna see how he cleans that up. All right, just zigzagging through. That to catch the clippings? Oh, buddy in the red shirt ain't got nothing to do. You were so concerned you should have been out there cutting the grass yourself. And then as soon as somebody go cut the grass, now you want to be out there hanging out. Get on my damn nerves. I don't even know who that is. I'm calling Ronald. Get a fucking life, Ronald. Just don't be in the best of neighborhoods, huh, bro? But that's the people that need it, honestly. I appreciate it. That's them slabs. They just hanging out. That about. Damn, look at that fence. That's some sad shit. Don't touch it, bro. You're gonna get tetanus. Tearing it down. He's going commando on it. He pulled off the machete. A fantastic idea, though. You like horseshoes? What's going on there? Oh. So he's got to blow all those clippings? So what you gonna do? Oh my God, man. Look at all that. Ugh. Satisfying grass trimming. Bagging the long grass. Yeah, let's see what's up. How you do it, bro? Right.
There are clippings everywhere, so I'm gonna get the bag out, drop the height down a little bit, see if I can get it cut down a little bit shorter for her, but it's looking way better than it did already before we came out here. So yeah, let's get this set up and I'll get this bag.
Oh, he's got an attachment on the mower. Okay. That's not, obviously unlike other traditional mowers. I just didn't think he was going to go that route. I don't know what he was going to do, but that makes sense. You're going to have to empty that thing at least 3 more times. All right, let's check out the walkthrough. Get the finesse going. Hit me with the magic, bro. This royalty-free music choices are interesting. They don't. Oh, they don't have a before and after. That's interesting. They did a little different format. I like the original format, bro. Ooh, there are things you hate about Japan. I'm in. So salacious.
I miss the angry rants. Does he love everything about Japan now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Chris is too happy and nice now. He wants.
Oh, I'm looking at the list. Hold up. Microaggressions. Modern Japanese architecture? Oh, this guy's a fucking maniac. He's like, you know what I don't like? Buildings. None of them. Can't do it. Holy shit.
A rant, you get a rant.
Ugh. What? Ugh. All right, come in.
Sometime in early 2018, I was picking up food and saw a flyer for an amusement park all too familiar to me.
It's everything chocolatey. Listen to a guitar that rocks.
I rode a coaster ride, we'll fly you to the sky. Now you know what you say when you leave here today. Everyone loves.
Never heard of it.
Marineland has been a staple of my hometown area for years. I've watched their commercials play after cartoons all my life, yet I've never actually gone. I've known about their troubled past before, but never paid much attention to it, at least not until I saw this flyer for the park. On the last page, it essentially lays out a defense against critics reading, "Radical animal rights activists have relentlessly and viciously attacked Marineland," then showing a tweet from Phil Damaris, who spearheaded the effort against the park. This is a real advertisement for a theme park, and when I saw this, I thought, what the hell is going on at this place? So let's find that out. This is my review of Marineland Niagara Falls, and why, in my opinion, it might just be the worst theme park in North America. Now, obviously, there's a pretty big elephant in the room, or maybe make that an orca in the room. There's a lot to say about their long history with allegations of mistreatment of their animals and the actual charges brought against the park and their
Towards the end of the video?
A little bit of that towards the end of the video, but I still encourage you to
Thanks
do
for
your
the
own
spoiler
research
alert,
if you
bro.
wish to educate yourself further on the matter. I'll be focusing more on the park spread around this massive park. Plus, this is all alongside the regular buildings, which just look like they were
Like for
built
people,
in the 70s. They were
right.
modern back then, but now
Yeah, all right, cool.
just look incredible.
You know, landlords would outrightly say, no foreigners.
Yeah, I notice when I go in stores and stuff, I'm followed around like real close and stuff. And I notice they don't do that for other people, so yeah.
I don't think I'll ever find a job.
I think Japanese are a bit lonely people.
Even though I grew up in Japan, living here is quite a challenge for me. So I can only imagine what it is like for foreigners.
So today I'm going out on the streets asking foreigners about their struggles and challenges.
My man,
they
little
face in
fly,
Japan.
he ain't
Let's
shame.
go. Okay, so what struggles have you had living in Japan just in the past few weeks?
Like, for example, wearing masks, because many of the foreigners, they, you know, in Europe, they don't wear masks anymore. And so here, if I
that's
have a
not-
mask on or don't have a mask,
that's
I get
nothing.
those looks of like, oh, she's not wearing a mask or something like this. So
Look at me, I'm sweating. It is so hot in Japan, and like especially working in a corporate Japanese environment where everyone's wearing a suit and tie. I'm literally coming to work drenched in sweat, and no one else in Japan sweats.
I thought Australia
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
everyone sweats in Australia. No one sweats here in Japan. I didn't get that Asian gene.
It's very difficult to make friends in Japan, to have like a very close contact, like deep contact. I think Japanese...
Is
are
this
the
shirt
lonely
see-through
people.
enough?
Yeah, they don't really want to have a contact with somebody, not that much.
To be honest, it's a bit lonely. It's not like I can't make friends or anything, but with natives or locals, it's pretty hard to become friends with them because I don't get the cultural references that they do. I didn't grow up here. I don't have any roots here like that. And I can't even use the, oh, I'm a foreigner pass because I'm a foreigner in their eyes. So then I'm kind of just like outcasted in a way.
Yes, you know, we've been to Fujisan yesterday and there was no trash in the street, so we have to take our trash in the bag. And
Oh my God, these are the most
somewhere, which is different
surface level.
I would say mainly the language barrier. Like, of
I
course,
can't do
I
it.
don't speak Japanese yet. Getting around, transporting, because, you know, I got to read the signs and stuff, and they're in Japanese as well.
You've lost me, bro.
train system and everything is
This is if these are the reasons why they struggle living in Japan, then it's not really a struggle. We'll be alright. It's because they speak another language. You know, I wasn't expecting that when moving to Japan that they would like not really speak a lot of English. Okay, cool. All right, actually, you know what? I think that's gonna be it for me, folks. I kicked a lot of ass today, and I got some wild hearts to check out. Maybe you'll be invited to that. Maybe you won't. Either way it goes, this is it for now. I'm getting a little tired. Thanks for hanging out, man. It's been great. Good conversations. Yo, dudes, do me a solid. Stop being shitty. Can we start being better to everyone? I mean, not just me. Everyone in general, but specifically as a man, speaking to men, because it's not too fair for me to address the other side and tell them how they should and how they need to move. I can tell them how I wish they did, how I believe would be beneficial. I can advise, but I cannot speak and say definitively this should be whatever, right? Obvious reasons, obviously. So as a man to man, I will say this, man. We need to start to hold each other a lot more accountable for our actions. On a daily basis, man. Looking to see who's out here fucking up, dude. And you know what I mean by fucking up. It's not cool to be a shithead. By no stretch of the imagination to anyone. You see a dude who's, you know, fucking with some kids. When I say fucking with them, you know, whether it's intimidating them, touching them, you know, the extreme shit, you know, you step in, you do something. A guy who's, you know, trying to push a little guy around, you do something. Like, bullying bullshit don't stop just because we're all adults, man. There are still definitely grown men who push their weight around on people that they think that they can get over on. And the only thing that stops bullshit like that is other people checking them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as men, the only people that should be checking men is us. I mean, it's not that women aren't capable, but why should they? Why should they when there's plenty of us to solve the problem ourselves? We call ourselves problem solver. Well, here's a fucking problem. There's a lot of shithead dudes out there running around screaming about male reproductive rights and entitlement, and we just letting that shit pop off and ring off. It's fucking embarrassing to speak to the females in my life in my life and hear about some of the shit that happens to them, man. It's fucking embarrassing. So we got to do something about it, dude. Man and man. This is Vay. This is my island. Be better. We can all be better.